Hi, and welcome to Indigo Starfire. My name is Bevin, and in this reading, I'm going to be looking into the question, are you close to meeting the one? There are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Amethyst. Group 2 is the Raspberry Aura Quartz. And group 3 is the Clear Quartz. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups, or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to, I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead, which I do recommend using so that you can skip over me shuffling cards in between groups to clear the energy of the group I just read for and tap into the energy of the group I'm about to read for. So again, I'll give you a minute. Please use the timestamps and we'll get into your reading. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Amethyst. So I'm going to start with some oracle cards and clarify with tarot and then close it up with some guidance from Spirit for you about, are you close to meeting the one? Okay, and we've got trust, wait, the Tree of Wishes is calling your name. An almost forgotten wish will now come true. And have courage, awaken the warrior of light within you. So this idea of trust and wait can indicate that the one, your forever person, is a little bit further along the horizon. And this may really be a test of your patience, a test of your faith at this point in time to sort of turn the situation over to divine timing. Maybe you're feeling a little frustrated because you have already done that. You've been waiting for a while. Maybe you've been trying to put yourself out there, trying to date, and just really not gelling with anyone, really not clicking with anyone, not finding anyone that is compatible with kind of your dreams and your goals for life. Personality clashes or things that seem really good on the surface, but then as you get to know people, the bottom kind of falls out in the situation. You start drifting away from one another. This can even be something where you have been taking time out of the dating scene to really work on yourself, to learn and then unlearn a lot of your patterns in romance up to this point in time. Maybe some cycles and some wounding within yourself that you've been needing to tend to, and you've been very diligent in that process, trusting where you have been led, trusting this kind of journey within. It's bringing to mind the idea of the hero's journey, or even kind of a dark night of the soul, sort of a hermit mode period that you have been in recently, maybe over the last several years or months, or however long it has been for you. And there's this urge or this sense within you that you're ready to come out from that internal kind of landscape. You're ready to come out from that cocoon. You're ready to emerge as this new version of yourself, to really implement and put into action what you have broken free from within yourself, this new version of you that you have been tending and nurturing, and really, again, ready to bring that forth into the world. Maybe you have done that in a lot of other ways and have experienced success and abundance and blessings in many different areas of your life. However, as far as love is concerned, there is almost just a lack of potential viable candidates. Again, kind of people that you aren't really gelling with, you're not really clicking with. It doesn't go much deeper than surface level, or even just people who aren't really garnering your interest. They aren't catching your attention in a romantic manner. And so again, a little bit of frustration that may be the case, but you're really urged to lean very deeply into the factor of trust, that whatever is not presenting itself to you at this time is for a very good reason. Spirit has a very beautiful plan in store with you. This really is talking with this kind of the tree of wishes about a seed which has been planted. This feels like intentions you may have made in the past, sort of a vision board, journaling, this introspection. This can tie in even with work you've been doing on yourself to heal your heart, to break free from personal patterns and trends within your love life or in your life in general. These have all been seeds that you've been tending that were very well planted, and that there is growth potential here, that you will break free from this cocoon energy, but the time is just not right. However, when that does come into manifestation, into fruition, it's almost like it's going to be better than what you had hoped for. In a lot of ways, it's almost bringing to mind the idea of the universe has taken note of your order of what you're wanting to experience in that forever partnership and the things you are seeking to cultivate actively within yourself. And so kind of this idea of the trust, this waiting period, is while Spirit sort of sets the stage, gets all of those ingredients, all of those circumstances, all of those kind of characters in this situation, in this love story that will unfold. A lot of different people that might be almost conduits or kind of the bridges between, meeting your forever person, the one. This can be something where you're introduced through friends or coworkers. This can be somebody who themselves is in a process of kind of growing beyond their comfort zone at this point in time. They may be needing to travel or relocate to where you are. Things that are gestating beneath the surface, that are just, your paths are not yet ready to align. However, deeply beneath the surface, it feels that you and your forever person, you're the one, are already connected at that deep soul level, and it's just a matter of kind of bringing forth those aspects or those factors or ingredients in the material realm, in kind of the timing and manner that is perfect for everybody involved. So while it might be kind of a closed door at this point in time, where you're not seeing a lot of opportunity, there's not a lot of options, there's nobody knocking on your door, nobody that is really touching you very deeply within the heart, as far as if you're dating, or even if you're not dating and you're just focusing on other things, that there's almost kind of a lack of that element of your life being part of the blessings that you are experiencing at this point. But you're encouraged to have courage in this situation, to keep pressing forward, keep persevering in whatever energy you have been cultivating within yourself, whatever you've been focusing on, whatever you've been doing at this point, as far as maybe working on things with, health and wellness, with your career, kind of tending the garden of the relationships and the energies that you are entertaining, disconnecting from kind of toxic or one-sided situations, circumstances, or people, and really inviting in and giving attention to those connections and situations which are very reciprocal, which nurture you in the same way that you nurture them. You have a very good rhythm or flow that is going on right now. You are in flow with the universe, and the other blessings and abundance that you are working on, maybe that has just started to show up or is already you're in the midst of that, in this kind of, I'm hearing in the next wave. So it almost feels like this next kind of flow of abundance and these gifts that are coming in for you, the things that you are calling in through these efforts you are making internally and in your own energy. This forever person, the one, they are going to be there very shortly, but it may take longer than what your kind of timeline is for that to arrive. There's a reason for everything, and it feels that both you and your forever person, the one, are really on your own journeys of almost with kind of this red in this card here. This is bringing forth like root chakra energy. So you and this person may have gone through some kind of spiritual awakening. You're sort of walking these parallel paths. There's this energy of sort of becoming more grounded, more firmly rooted in your own authenticity, and kind of rooting that down into the material reality. You're both in the process of kind of creating a world for yourselves that most reflects who you are at your core level. Breaking away from, toxic patterns, self-limiting beliefs and ideas, ways in which you've dimmed your light in order to fit in, that by shining that beacon within you very brightly, very unapologetically, it sends a signal out to your forever person so that they can find you. And vice versa, it feels like you're the one, your forever person is working on that in their own life as well. And you may have just kind of these hints or these glimmers, or this, even it may just be a hope at this point in time, kind of a prayer or a wish, even something that you've been wishing for a while. It's been long awaited, and you're not really seeing that on the horizon. This may be the test of faith, the test of patience, as far as, is that person out there? Is there someone out there for me? Or am I meant to just kind of walk this journey in life half understood, misunderstood, not understood at all of these kind of elements within self? It's almost like the battle within self, within this maybe this urge or this temptation to sort of lower your standards, to settle for less than you deserve, or to sort of sink into hopelessness or kind of a pessimism as far as this goes. And you're really urged with all of this energy here to try as much as you can honor sort of those feelings of doubt and uncertainty and despair, but then pick yourself back up. Do what you need to do to keep that vibration very vibrant, whatever you're working toward in that arena of sort of stepping into the best version of self. It's having a ripple effect on many areas of your life. Love is among the things that will be called in through this vibration. And in the time that this does arrive for you, that your one, your forever person finally knocks on that door, or the door to your heart becomes opened or activated by this person, it's going to be worth the wait. This closed door on the tree as well can also indicate that there may be some blocks that you are needing to work on. Deeper shadow work, or even beginning this for the first time for some of you, to release expectations, again, as far as timing and manner of how this forever person, the one, is going to show up. Maybe you've been a little too precise in the list and the order you've placed with the universe, and you're not open to, what you've sort of requested or what you're desiring, or something better. It's almost like a fixed point. You may be fixated on a particular individual that you feel it's the one, and you're not opening up to the possibility the universe may have something better in store for you. This can talk about almost this time period of still needing to wait. It's all for a good purpose, because there are things within yourself deeply related to love and partnership, or even your perception of the value of the love that you have to give to others, that is needing to be worked through in some way. Your heart is needing to be opened more. It's needing to flourish more in a beautiful and trusting manner in order to welcome in the most appropriate manner, and in kind of the fullest capacity, this love that is coming towards you. While it may be this weight, it may feel like a very remote possibility, or you're just not seeing any evidence of that. You're really, again, guided to sort of trust in this process, trust where you're at in this journey, trust that this individual is already on their way to you, but that how they arrive and who that might be may be very much outside of what you had previously sort of insisted to the universe that it would look like, or who it would be, or what your idea was of how this would unfold. So maybe attachment too much to, almost a very kind of linear view of things, and you're being invited and asked to kind of open up to the unknown, to the possibilities and the probability of being very pleasantly surprised by what the universe has in store for you as far as the one, your forever person, and how your story unfolds with them. So I'm going to get a little bit of tarot to clarify for you. Okay, we've got the Seven of Pentacles, which is Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Five of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Page of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And the Hermit, which is Virgo. So yeah, with that idea of trust and patience, we've got that Seven of Pentacles right there. That divine timing is at play. It's not yet time for you to intersect with the one, with the forever person. There's still more of a sense of heartbreak, loss, and grief, something that you may be holding on to very unconsciously, even just energetically speaking. With the idea of the Page of Swords, I'm really drawn to that Ace of Swords and this idea of cutting cords of attachment. You may have healed, maybe through self-help, through meditation, maybe some of you through counseling even, a lot of kind of the mental aspects, a lot of the emotional aspects of disappointments in love in the past, dealings with narcissistic partners, maybe third-party situations, and sort of like a sense of betrayal that could have happened in previous connections, devastation of sort of something you had invested deeply in or long-term. Maybe some of you are divorced or multiple times divorced, and you've dealt as much as possible with kind of picking up the pieces in the aftermath of that, but there's something energetically that is still tying you to these individuals that you had these very difficult or negative experiences with, or something on really a subtle level that is calling for your attention. It's almost like this idea here of the Seven of Pentacles, and it's kind of, the fruits of what this person has planted. They're not yet ready to be tended, or almost that they are kind of available, but they're obscured in all of this foliage, things that need to be weeded out of your garden, so to speak. So this could be, these energetic cords of attachment, something deeper that you're needing to kind of cull away in order to be able to fully move forward with the lessons from the disappointments you've experienced in the past, so that you are armed with discernment and able to, kind of meet your forever person, the one, with more of a mind to move forward, with less of kind of these tangles or these triggers sort of pulling you back in. Maybe trust issues as well could be something with kind of these three spilled cups. So if you had been in situations where there was cheating or there was betrayal, that might be something that, you're needing this time. The one, your forever person, isn't showing up at this point in time because Spirit has other kind of plans for you at this point. You're needing to, in some way, work to heal, or at least detach yourself from more of the subtle tethers to these experiences, ways in which you may be sort of pessimistic, overly cautious, that you may have even kind of withdrawn yourself from sort of the idea of love and romance and partnership. You've closed your heart down a little bit, or a lot for some of you, that this is, there's a step that's kind of missing in here between this desire, this wanting to experience this new love, this yearning, this longing for your forever person, for the, your forever person, a counterpart, a soulmate, whatever title you're going to put on that, your next big romance, your spouse, whatever you're going to want to call that. But there's something within you that this particular time where, this person is not here in your physical reality, there's other work that you're needing to do within yourself. And it's almost like you hold the key within to unlock your energy further, which allows you to kind of leave the past behind and turn and face the new opportunity in love that wants to come in for you. It's something where this person almost is kind of like right on the outside of your ability to perceive them. But there are other matters that are needing to be tended that Spirit wants you to focus on at this point in time as a way of preparing yourself to receive and reciprocate this beautiful love. We're talking about the one here. So this is that forever person. So you're really wanting to almost, look your best, put your best foot forward, be able to show up in the most kind of open and reciprocal manner with this person, and not kind of bring this baggage from the past, even if it's just energetic baggage, these very sort of subtle cords of attachment, or not so subtle cords. Maybe for some of you, you're needing to, become very proactive in this healing work, learning to kind of trust again, learning to open up to love again, doing some forgiveness work within yourself, forgiveness work, internally, but, detaching from other people. This doesn't mean that what they have done was okay or that you want them back in your life, but it just means you are no longer allowing kind of that hook from this experience to continue to kind of have an active role energetically in your life. You're choosing to sort of turn away and move in another direction, to leave the past behind, to move forth openly and optimistically, but with the discernment of what you've experienced in the past. So almost this idea with the Hermit mode as well. And then we've got the Hermit right here of this time where, you're one, your forever person, they are not in your life yet. It may seem, like you've got a long way to go, because of course when you meet them, you'll have to get to know each other. The relationship will have to develop. It will, take its own kind of natural and organic course in order to reach that kind of place of happily ever after. But there's important self-transformation that's needing to be done at this point in time, that on the other side of that is kind of this emerging from the cocoon. That is that hermit coming out of the cave of introspection, armed with wisdom of self, having really mastered self, and is then able to give most authentically, shining the internal light of illumination most brightly, filling one's own cup, being able to therefore give and receive of that cup of love with others in a more reciprocal manner. So the idea also with the Page of Swords, this card of observation, of watching, it's the idea of kind of here with wait, watch and wait, that, is the abundance in other ways maybe coming into your life, or if you are endeavoring in a more proactive manner, or in a deeper manner, or in a different manner, to kind of heal and detach yourself from heartbreaks of the past, narratives of the past, maybe even kind of like toxic or limiting patterns or relationships, even of a platonic nature, or relationships with families or coworkers, something that's really gumming up your energy right now. It's dimming your shine. It's kind of diluting your energy. It's sapping that away from you and giving very little in return. When you cut these things out of your life and you allow yourself to almost be rejuvenated, you bring that authenticity out more, work to kind of cull and tend things internally and in your world and in your existence. This is carving the path out to meeting the one, to that forever person. They are on your horizon, but there is work yet to be done within yourself. And it feels very reciprocal for them as well. They're on their own journey. They're in their own kind of process of doing that as well. Both of you sort of tending and preparing that internal landscape in order to meet and receive each other in the most optimal fashion in the future. So I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit now for you about the situation. Okay, and we've got Council of Light, Divine Orchestration, Helpers in the Subtle Realm. So this is again that confirmation that everything is unfolding as it should. The reason that you are still kind of searching for the one, that you have not, it feels like for a lot of you, you've not met this person yet. It doesn't really feel to be something where you're questioning if maybe like a new person, do they have the potential to be the one? This almost feels like there's not a lot of potential candidates, or, you know, anyone that you're sort of exploring romance with, it doesn't really fulfill you on that level to where you'd be considering this is the one. So in that kind of in that sort of a scenario, again, it's the idea of this is all for a reason. There's a larger kind of plan in place here. You know, you're almost being kind of nudged in that internal direction to sort of look around inside and say, what more do I need to do in order to become that love that I am seeking? That this time of kind of being cloistered or in this cocoon mode, or just not, it almost feels like work that you're needing to do on yourself, and that your forever person, the one, they are needing to do on themselves as well. That the two of you can only really accomplish this, and well, you can only really endeavor and accomplish this in a deep manner by doing that independently. It's laying that groundwork, it's laying that foundation within first and foremost to again be able to kind of receive and build in the most optimal direction with each other in terms of love and partnership moving forward. You know, so in these times where you're feeling very frustrated, you're feeling very doubtful, you're feeling very uncertain about kind of what direction to go, you know, questioning sort of what's the purpose of all this waiting. You've been doing the work, you've been doing everything you've needed to do. Other abundance is coming in, and yet love is just, there's nothing happening there. You know, you're not receiving that blessing that you had really hoped for. That's the time to, you know, pray for signs, pray for those answers, seek within, seek that truth and that knowledge within, that somewhere deep inside of you, you will feel the existence, you will feel the heartbeat of this forever person, of your one, out there in the world somewhere, embodied in the flesh, making their way to you, just as you are making your way to this person, trusting in sort of the time and manner that things are unfolding, because there's a lot of indication here based on kind of this clearing work, this healing work, this kind of ascension work that's needing to be done, or that you're invited to do, or that you've been doing at this point in time, that what you are imagining is the one, your forever person. That sort of image or fantasy or ideal, the universe is really going to surprise you. It's going to defy your expectations in that manner. And it doesn't mean to say everything will be perfect between the two of you, even though it's the one, it's your forever person. But in a lot of ways, what you are really needing to cultivate within you right now and kind of release and make room for inside of yourself is this invitation of this very beautiful and big love that it's beyond what you've experienced up to this point in time. It's more in alignment with this core of authenticity, this whole and healed and self-actualized version of you that is kind of it's embedded within this foliage. It's obscured from your view, and so you're tasked at this point with kind of you know, taking away all of those boundaries and barriers within yourself that cause you to doubt or to question the caliber of love you have to give. Any kind of residue left over energetically, psychically, emotionally, mentally, even, you know, just in any kind of a way in your perceptions that was left behind by partners of the past who were unable to love you and kind of reciprocate the love you had to give in a manner that was you know, healthy and fulfilling for you. This is a time to really work on that, to work on that internal makeover, that soul glow up. And when you do that, when you continue to do that and you trust in the process, you know, you will be very much surprised at sort of who turns up at your door, what that connection looks like, and all of that really being the result of this time period of needing to sort of be at a distance, be in this cocoon to emerge into another version of yourself that is in alignment with this forever person, with the one. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be a first, middle, or last name, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got P, Q, U, M, E, and V. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I'm also running a sale in my Etsy shop now through the end of the month of February. Everything is marked down 15%. So if you have had your eye on a piece of jewelry or a dream catcher, or you've been considering getting a reading with me, now might be the time to act upon that, as I don't often run sales. I've also launched a second channel here on YouTube. It's called Lady of the Dawn Tarot, and there's a link in the description box as well as in the channel section of my page for that. The format there is a little different from here. I do pick-a-cards and general energy check-ins, but the topics that I cover are related to spirituality, ascension, wellness, and self-love. So if any of that sounds interesting, I invite you to check that out, and I thank you for your support there as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. You chose the Aura Quartz. So I'm going to start with some oracle cards, clarify with tarot, and close out with some guidance from Spirit as far as the question, are you close to meeting the one? Okay, we have a year from now. No. Follow your vision. Never lose sight of what's really important. And cross the bridge of happiness. It leads over the depths of your emotions. So this reference to know, this is really tying in for me. For a lot of you, you may have a particular person that you've been going through kind of a back and forth cycle, like a runner chaser cycle, somebody very specific that you have kind of attached the idea or the label of this person being your forever person, being the one. Perhaps you consider yourself a twin flame and you've been in kind of this runner chaser dynamic with this individual. And you've put all your eggs into this person's basket. It's this person or it's nobody. And this is really tying into the idea of whoever you may have on your mind as this is the person, this is the one. It may be, again, this very kind of dramatic or intense kind of connection. It's the sense of there's something better out there. There's somebody else that you have yet to cross paths with, that with this energy here of it's a year from now, that's very specific. So again, somebody that you will meet further down the road, that is in fact that true kind of counterpart energy, is that match, is that person that is able and willing to meet you on your level in a reciprocal manner. This can even tie into, if you have all your kind of hopes or these ideas of like a twin flame union in the physical sense in this lifetime, that it's again like a runner chaser dynamic, and it's been this back and forth, and you've really been sort of holding out hope for this person. There's a sense here with that, as well as your forever person, the one that you will build a life with, build a home with, cultivate that sense of sanctuary with. It is not this twin flame, but in fact is, another high level soulmate that perhaps this person that you have been sort of going in the back and forth with, they are not choosing to do the work to kind of ascend with you, to reach a level of self-mastery, to break through any kind of patterns and cycles of fear and avoidance within self and outwardly. And so the universe is sending you somebody else. You are not just meant to kind of dwell in this perpetual kind of anxiety and unknowing. You have been doing the work within yourself. You have cultivated that love within you, have become that love you are seeking. And so in the instance where, this other person, maybe a twin flame, is choosing not to, get with the program, they're not choosing to do the work within themselves. It's almost like time is up for that person, and you're now being almost rerouted. You're being realigned with somebody else that, again, is going to really see you and appreciate you, be very much on the same page with you, very compatible with you energetically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, in terms of goals, in terms of, even sort of interests or desires, or, kind of in a way that they can just reciprocate with you that's deeper than this other individual who may just be wrapped up in kind of these cycles of fear. Also, this can tie into, this idea of like, no, not yet. You're not close to meeting this person, but a year from now, it's going to be a very different story. That as your life exists right now, you're about to embark on a lot of changes within yourself. This deep and profound personal evolution that with this globe card here, and then also this home, this is really tying into the idea of, like your forever person, the one, they are somebody that you meet after either a significant kind of changing of your life. So you go through maybe a profound spiritual awakening. If you're already kind of on an awakening path, there's another layer or aspect, something that is still waiting to be birthed within you and in your outside world that puts you into alignment with the one. For others of you, this really involves a move, some kind of relocation, that as you are at right now, your surroundings, the people that are in your environment, the space you're operating at, there are big changes that are almost preceding meeting the one, that you actively are a part of evolving or stepping to the next level of your own life in some manner. And it is that kind of closing of certain doors and stepping through new opportunities, creating or accepting the invitation to move through new doors for yourself. Maybe this is something where you accept a promotion that takes you, to the other side of the country or to a new country entirely, and that's where you will meet the one. So at this point right now where you're still, creating your resumes, you're still, responding to job applications, for example, you're not near to meeting this person. It's like other things needing to align. All of these kind of imageries here of pairs as well, it really indicates to me that you may meet this person through networking in some way, or that there are certain other sort of souls that you are meant to both disconnect with. That can tie into that idea of sort of like a runner that you've been investing a lot of thought in, as far as that's your forever person. Needing to detach from that opens up your energy to call in the vibration of who is truly meant and aligned with you, who is truly part of your soul tribe, your soul family, who will provide you with kind of the loyalty and the reciprocity that you are seeking. Or something even, again, with the idea of kind of people that you are meant to meet, that through these other people, so through some kind of shared community you may not be aware of at this point. This can be like your one or your forever person joins a community you are already a part of, but there's this energy of almost like migration and distance and other people that are involved, sort of like through word of mouth you meet one another. This can tie into even sort of like dating websites, dating apps, for example, and it's going to take some time for you and this person to align with one another. Maybe you're not on these dating apps, they are at this point in time, or both of you are, but you've just you haven't encountered one another. You haven't kind of gone through that process of elimination to really experience one another at this point in time. So it's a little bit more distant on the horizon. This may also really involve taking a risk, taking a leap of faith, taking a chance in some manner. But it again lies on the other side of like these very profound changes that are deeply connected with becoming aware of and really being prepared and cultivated within yourself to call in, to welcome in, and to participate with this particular person, with the one, with your forever person, that they are deeply well aligned with you. I mean, I know these are wolves on this card, but this is bringing to mind the analogy of birds of a feather, in something almost in a way that this individual that you'll meet, or that the universe will bring into your world, into your existence, it will almost help put in perspective how this person is they defy who you were almost thinking was that perfect partner, what that would look like. This is somebody who in many ways is more deeply aligned with you than anybody you've kind of met before. But it's personal transformation. It's deep internal work that you're almost not at a place of being able to even perceive this person yet. It's something where if you met them tomorrow, energetically, in terms of even what your lives look like, it wouldn't be a match. That this time that is necessary, this idea of like a year, that can even talk about like a full cycle, so some cycles and maybe tendencies or trends, or a very kind of fixed view that you have within yourself of who and what that partner looks like, how that's going to arrive into your life, that is needing to be departed from in order to move into this energy of receptivity, to recognize options and opportunities, or to be able to some way gain access energetically within yourself and then vibrationally to this person that is not possible at this point. It's almost like it's not meant to be possible at this point. That there's like a process of growth, evolution, cycles, expanding in some way, expanding your mind, getting outside of your comfort zone as well. That is really a key here. Part of the personal evolutionary process is a key to aligning with your one, with your forever person. They are out there. They are deeply resonant with you. At the soul level, you are connecting with each other even now, but their manifestation in physical reality, it's almost like you are needing to sort of follow this beacon or this signal to one another through these changes in the internal landscape, through changes in kind of what your material world looks like, how you structure your day, what you do for a living, the company you keep, perceptions, again, that you have within you as far as a particular person that you're dealing with currently or from your past, that you're still almost tethered or attached to that. You're still actively holding space for this person, that you're really being invited to kind of release that and open up to the possibility of something different, something better, something unknown. Kind of the idea with all of these sort of little couples here on a year from now, this can talk about, kind of times where you've tried to reconcile with somebody and it's worked for a while and it's fallen apart, and then you've tried to come back together and you've tried to come back together. It's just like round and round, over and over. There's a need to sort of disconnect from that, to close that off, which opens you up to aligning with this person that is actually meant for you, that will meet you on the level that you are at, that will not kind of participate in those cycles of the running and the chasing, but will be very consistent. They're ready, willing, and able to match your vibration, to meet you where you are and to build with you, work with you, cooperate with you across any sort of obstacles or difficulties, with whom you find that sense of sanctuary with. They're your forever person. They're your home, but they lie on the other side of some phase of your life or your healing journey, or your perception that is almost, you're needing to expand beyond those limits, and that allows you to perceive and receive this person in the future, maybe a year from now, or if it's not literally a year, this can talk about some major cycle that is needing to be identified, recognized, and broken away from, that opens the door to you kind of crossing that threshold to the place, the destination internally and externally, where you will intersect with this person, where you will invite them in, they will invite you in, and you can move forth with the actualization of that forever partnership you had been hoping for and had maybe been holding space for somebody who was just not really showing consistent evidence of being able to sort of sustain and build on that vision with you. So I'm going to get some tarot to clarify this a little bit more. Okay, we have the Chariot, which is Cancer. Five of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Three of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And Five of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. So this energy of the number 5, that's the energy of change. And this is really speaking about kind of like a loop, a cycle, a pattern, maybe sort of being out in the cold from somebody that you've been holding space for. You've been kind of dwelling as well. We've got this other 5 here. So double confirmation of like things needing to change in the internal landscape and in the external reality, that in some manner are kind of keeping you at a distance from that forever person, from the one. There's other cycles that need to sort of close out. There's a sense of that you've maybe waiting in vain, or that the clock has run out. It has sort of reached its expiration point. It's time for you to kind of close up or wrap up a cycle, to kind of disconnect, work through the idea that somebody from your past, like a runner in a runner-chaser situation, or even someone you may have considered your counterpart or twin flame, that is really not demonstrating action in the material world that is consistent with somebody who wants to build and is able to build into that forever partnership with you, that it's meeting your forever person is predicated on kind of closing this out, moving out of this cycle of kind of lack, of loss, of just dwelling on kind of this heaviness. It's a willingness to look forward to the future, to look toward other horizons, to expand your mind in some manner beyond a very specific individual that you have been fixated on as that person, that forever person, that there's somebody else out there, but they are on the other side of your willingness to step beyond your comfort zone. The Chariot can also really confirm that energy of some kind of a geographical move or relocation, maybe something you already have planned, maybe something that the opportunity will present itself to you within the next year, or I would say probably by the end of the year 2023, since with the Chariot, numerologically speaking, the present year that we are in 2023 is year number 7, which is the Chariot card. So this can be very significant to this actual calendar year, although it's a timeless reading. So whenever you are watching this, if it's at some point in the future and we're beyond 2023 and the Chariot year and the number 7, just, take the messages as they resonate. But this still can apply to some kind of a big relocation maybe, or, just even a massive shift over what your world had looked like, what you're participating with, kind of the people and the characters that you're interfacing with, that you're giving your time and effort and attention to. This can involve, a complete makeover of your life in many ways. Maybe it's even just moving across town, moving to a different neighborhood, switching jobs, switching perspectives, switching goals, switching, things that you are focusing on and cultivating, horizons you're working toward, any number of things, and or a major kind of like relocation that your forever person, you're one, they are not in your immediate vicinity because you're not where you're meant to be. There's like more for you. It's not like you've done anything wrong. It's just there's a cycle. There's something which is needing to be closed out, and like new chapters, new horizons that you can't even imagine at this point in time, that might not even be available to you. They're almost like becoming formulated, and it's a process of kind of disconnecting, moving beyond, closing out chapters of the past, identifying and moving beyond sort of cycles of limitation, things you've been holding on to past their expiration date, a willingness to move forward, to trust, to take a leap of faith, to take a risk, to take a chance, to take a calculated move forward, to better yourself, to better your situation towards something that is more in alignment with who you truly are at your authentic core self. And it is this action, it is this energy that puts you in that proximity with that forever person. So this isn't like, decades or like never on the horizon, but this is something where personal transformation is that gateway to meeting this person, where releasing kind of these energies of loss and lack and holding space for somebody that is just not delivering, where you're just kind of round and round in this ever cycling cycle of uncertainty, moving forward toward, what is really in your best interests, balancing out sort of where you've been with where you would like to go, and taking, decisive action, being receptive to opportunities, but then acting upon these things. All of that puts you into alignment with the one, with your forever person. So a phase that's needing to close out, something else that's needing to begin, and sort of a leap forward, a quantum leap almost in sort of how everything about your life is structured, is where that one, where that forever person, where they are dwelling. They are not on this current timeline where you are. They are somewhere else out there. And it's not a matter of just kind of like waiting and hoping that they'll come find you. It requires action on your part in some way to propel yourself forward on your personal journey. So I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit for you about the situation to close up this reading, and then I'll get some initials as well. Okay, and we've got deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. So again, this is that idea of releasing an expectation, space you've been holding for somebody. Maybe you've been keeping the door of your heart open a crack for someone to return, and it's been a little too long. It's getting a little too drafty, too lonely, too cold in there. And it's time to really have that serious chat with yourself about how much longer are you going to do this? How much longer are you going to, postpone the possibility that the universe has something else in store for you? If you've been putting your life on hold, or you're even feeling very perplexed as far as what direction to move next, how to really discern and to know what the next steps are, how to sort of free yourself, how to move beyond all of this, going within, taking that time, as much as change may be necessary in the circumstances, it doesn't mean throwing everything away all at once, taking calculated steps, moving at a pace that is comfortable for you, but to almost almost even come out of a period of sort of stasis or passivity where you've been waiting. You've been almost giving your power over to a situation or to a person that is just not reciprocating. You're being invited to open your mind to the idea of something more. An urge here with this guidance to sort of nourish yourself, heal yourself, that this is not an overnight fix coming out of this energy of kind of lack and loss. Even if you sort of detach from the idea of a specific individual, there are still parts of yourself that are needing to be sort of nursed back to health within you. You're needing to fill your own cup with love. That can be another reason why it's sort of a prolonged wait for this one, the forever person. There's self-healing work that is needed in order to sort of sew up the wounds and the discomfort and the hurt that was left behind by other circumstances or a previous person that you've been waiting on, and you'd invested a lot of thought and hope. You had thought they were the one, and they're just not delivering. They're just not cooperating with you in that circumstance. And so it's not as easy as just sort of releasing that, saying, okay, well, I'm not going to invest in that anymore, and then move forward and welcome your forever person in. No, there's healing work that needs to be done. There's closure that needs to be created. For a lot of you, you're going to have to create that closure for yourself. Periods of just being kind of alone in your own energy, really taking the time to identify patterns within, break free of these things. It feels like change in a very massive scale. So something which, you may need to endeavor sort of bit by bit. Further sort of examples of what needs to be worked on will be revealed as you are closing certain things out and transcending particular areas of your life. So taking the time to just be very present in the moment, trust that inner guidance as far as what direction to head, what needs to be kind of transcended in your own life. This isn't a race, it's more of a marathon in this circumstance. Investing in yourself, the best investment you can make is in your own healing, health, and wellness on all levels. And when you do that, you actively become that love you are seeking. There's some other kind of like layer to that. If you've been endeavoring this up to this point in time, there's another layer that is needing to be done very personally, very internally, in order to bring forth or to call to your forever person, the one, not from a stance of wounding, not from a stance of codependency or neediness, but where you really have come to terms as much as possible with, maybe circumstances of the past that didn't work out as you had wanted. It's not just rolling from one situation into another. It's creating that closure for yourself, taking the time to really just breathe in this version of you that is not, so much of your energy is not sapped, kind of entertaining things that are one-sided or that are very disappointing or just kind of chaotic or unpredictable or very negative or very draining. Taking time to sort of fill your own cup, moving forward with the opportunities that the universe presents to you, and then being open to receive that one, that forever person, in the time and manner that they are meant to arrive, which definitely feels to be somewhere in that kind of new life that is waiting for you to create it, that is waiting for you to sort of step forth out of the situation that is kind of stale. It's past its expiration date. You've learned all you can from this cycle of kind of grief and loss, and you're needing to step into that place where you are making these declarations through your actions of wanting to build, wanting to experience more reciprocity in terms of what you have to bring to the table, and that when you do that, you come into alignment with that forever person, the one who will reciprocate with you in all of the levels and layers that you need them to, and that you are able to provide as well. So I'm going to get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got D, P, F, L, J, M, and X. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I'm also running a sale in my Etsy shop now through the end of the month of February. Everything is marked down 15%. So if you've been considering getting a reading with me, or you've had your eye on a piece of jewelry or a dream catcher, now would be the time to act upon that, as I don't often run sales. I've also launched a second channel here on YouTube. It's called Lady of the Dawn Tarot, and there's a link in the description box as well as in the channel section of my page for that. The format there is a little different from here. I do pick-a-cards as well as general energy check-ins, but the subject matters that I cover are related to ascension, wellness, spirituality, and self-love. So if any of that sounds interesting, I invite you to check that channel out, and I thank you for your support there as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose the clear quartz. So I'm going to start with some oracle cards, clarify with tarot, and close it up with some guidance from spirit as far as the question, are you close to meeting the one? And this, we'll see how this relates to the cards that are coming out, but I just heard any day now, so I think that definitely means you are close to meeting them. Okay, so we've got yes, success, leave your usual social circles behind, seek out true companions, and nature is calling you. It wants to touch, fulfill, and protect you with its healing powers. So Yeah, that idea of any day now that came through is confirmed with yes and success. You are on the right path. You are definitely in alignment to meeting the one, your forever person. And this may be something with the idea of leaving your usual social circles behind. Maybe some of you have been kind of trapped in the house, trapped in your routine or your rut for too long. And the idea of nature is calling you, some kind of an invitation you may get in the very near future, even some kind of an impulse or an inclination, something you even read about or hear about as far as a community event, a new store or restaurant that has opened that you've heard about, maybe a movie that you've wanted to see. Getting out for a walk, getting out in nature, breaking out of your routine in some manner. It feels like this puts you in alignment with this person. For a lot of you, this is going to be a very serendipitous meeting. This is not going to be something where, you're sort of scrolling the dating app or the dating website and you're, taken aback by this person that you see, kind of love at first sight in that sort of a capacity. For some of you, though, if you are on dating apps and websites, this can talk about that you're going to be coming across one another, the profile very soon, and then that just sort of sparks kind of the unfolding of this forever love story. But it feels like for a lot of you this is very organic in the sense of your becoming aware of one another happens in the material world in a very unplanned manner. It's not even like you're saying to yourself, well, I'm going to go out for a walk in the hopes that I'm going to meet the one. No, it's just, maybe you're really busy with work. You're deciding to start a new kind of fitness routine, a new health routine. Again, kind of getting outside of the comfort zone. Maybe you go have your lunch in a park, for example, or, you're just in some way, you're doing something that deviates from your normal routine or activity. This can, just be anything where, maybe you're going to the grocery store on a different day than you usually would. Food is feeling to factor in very strongly with this, and it makes sense with a forever person. This is somebody who you nourish one another on that soul level, on the emotional level, on the spiritual level. It's that ideal bond. It's that person that you decide to spend your life with. So this may also, though, be relevant to kind of the venue or the setting of where you are meeting this person. Of course, that won't apply for everyone, but for a lot of you, it is going to be, trying out that new restaurant. Maybe instead of making dinner at home, you very spontaneously decide to treat yourself to something. Maybe it's, you're going to the grocery store because you're going to start eating healthier. And, this could be somebody that works at the store you are at, or is also kind of a customer there. It really could be anything. Maybe somebody that you meet at a retreat, something very spontaneous, something that you decide to do for yourself. This can also, with the idea of kind of leaving your usual social circle behind, this can talk about somebody that you meet through kind of a new form of community. This can be online community. This can be more of a spiritual community, some kind of health community, something that has to do with wellness and self-care, something that is, it's almost the idea with this kind of greenery here of turning a new leaf in some manner, something that you are doing that you decide to embark upon. Maybe it's something like you're even just out looking to get a new pair of tennis shoes because you're going to start going for walks, or you're going to start going for runs. You go to the gym, for example, and you meet this person. It's something that's outside of the norm. It's outside of whatever, you were normally busying yourself with. And it feels also like this person may be very outside of your usual type and expectation. And because they're in such close proximity, there's a lot that's coming through here as far as the details, the possible details, these little sort of clues or inclinations about the setting or the venue, maybe some of these types of things about what kind of person they might be, who they might be, something where they almost just come in very unexpectedly because there's no need to really sort of tap into those details of, that they're further along the horizon and this is what needs to sort of take place to intersect with them. You're already in alignment with that. There's already things that have been set in motion. This can also really tie into things that maybe, it's a timeless reading, so whenever you find these messages, just take them as they resonate. But at the time I'm recording this, it's February 13th, so we're just shortly have entered into the year 2023. So maybe some of you had some kind of a New Year's resolution, some sort of lifestyle change that you have wanted to make, cutting things away from your life, introducing new things into your world, into your reality. And it is that kind of decision to, in some way, improve yourself, improve your circumstances, your health, and your well-being in any number of ways that this has put you in direct alignment. It feels like something you've been along the path to reach this person a lot sooner, but something about maybe wheels you have set in motion this year, things you have already kind of cut out from your life, maybe disconnecting from toxic or one-sided friendships, other romances, for example. Maybe this is something that instead of, just kind of dating around, you're becoming a little more selective, you're becoming a little more discerning. Whatever that looks like for you, it's already put you in alignment. You're already sort of carrying a vibration within yourself. You're already emitting this frequency within yourself that is calling this person into your reality in some manner. And it's really coming with this energy of like, don't look too hard for this person, because they'll kind of, if you look too hard for them with these two little foxes here, one kind of in this little log and the other one on top, if you look too hard, you'd miss this person. But that, that alignment, it's there. The two of you are already in alignment with one another. It's almost just like a thin veil of perception or some kind of a circumstance. For some of you, this could be literal. It might just be like one or two of you, but it's almost like this person just lives a block away from you. They live right around the corner from you. It's something very much even in almost like getting out of your comfort zone, but it feels like in a very local proximity. You're not having to like fly across the world to meet this person kind of thing. And it's almost like they've been right under your nose the whole time. Not that you have been aware of them and we're just overlooking them, but it's almost just your paths never crossed up to this point in time. But for a lot of you, they are getting ready to come in. This may be something where this could start as a friend and then kind of laying that crucial foundation of getting to know one another, establishing, trust and kind of those common interests, spending time with one another, allowing the situation to develop very organically with the idea of nature calling. It feels that it might be kind of this instant sort of spark or electricity, some kind of recognition, something that, sort of leads the situation beyond just, you run into someone literally or figuratively and then you go off your own ways. And it's kind of like, well, I wonder, why am I still thinking about this random person? Maybe it's something like that. And then you or the other person seeks the other one out and it kind of takes off from there. But it feels like something where, again, just realistically, as much as we can think of the one and the forever person, and it's, kind of these thoughts that go to, that happily ever after, there's all of that groundwork that needs to be sort of laid in place to build up to that point. And so this really speaks about the idea of intersecting with this person, and then begins the process of sort of building your love story together. Maybe it starts as friendship. Maybe it's something where, it just kind of immediately leads into that realm of romance. Somebody asking you out, if it is the dating website example or the dating app. But then again, things building very organically. It's like a slow progress. But that seed, that spark, that moment of impact, that intersection, it's very close for you. It's literally right around the corner any day now. It's coming in fast. And there's almost like nothing more that you need to do to prepare yourself for that, because you've already been doing an excellent job preparing yourself. That kind of the only thing that might be left lingering is almost this idea idea of leaving your usual social circle, so getting out of your comfort zone, doing something outside of the ordinary, outside of what you would normally do. Now, obviously, for all of you, it's not going to be someone you're going to meet tomorrow. So maybe this is a clue about what still is left, kind of that last layer, that last element that is sort of hindering or almost kind of keeping you at a distance, maybe keeping you at a certain vibration that is not in alignment with this person. If you're spending a lot of time with kind of low vibrational people, toxic people, people that just bring a lot of drama, people that just take kind of like energy vampires, or people that are just very kind of self-serving. If you're very stressed out, you're not taking care of yourself, you're not having your personal boundaries and barriers, and you're feeling very even kind of like pessimistic about life, about love, about maybe a lot of things, difficulties you've been through, stress, challenges, whatever it is that's keeping you at this lower vibration, then this can be kind of that encouragement of breaking free or kind of cutting out of your life what you can that is in some way keeping you in kind of tethered to this lower end of the spectrum of your potential. So taking those steps to, again, the idea of leave the usual social circle is sort of like things you're needing to cut out or eliminate. And that by, creating this void, maybe of time, maybe, people you're not spending as much time with anymore. You're not engaging in as much communication with them. You're not feeding them so much of your energy or attention, and it gives you that time. You're resting, you're drinking enough water, you're taking care of yourself, you're getting out of maybe a sedentary lifestyle. If you're working a lot, you're kind of in the office, you're sort of stuck to your desk chair, kind of tied to the computer. Whatever it is that you're doing, you break out, you branch out from that in some way. And you try new things, you cultivate more of a healthy lifestyle, you cultivate more of a healthy habit, a healthy mindset, even in the notion of discontinuing what you're participating in as much as you can that is just sort of dragging you down, that all of that helps to really free something up energetically within you that pivots you up into this place where you're aligning with this forever person, with this one. It's almost like kind of you're on this parallel path. You're very much parallel to this person. They're almost in complete alignment with you, but it's your horizon needs to shift in some manner. What you're looking at, what you're participating with, what you're taking in energetically, or even just again like lifestyle. So for a lot of you, that is sort of getting out, moving your body, becoming healthier, becoming more conscientious about sort of how you're taking care of yourself on all levels. This pivots you into this energy and this scenery almost where you will intersect with this person who's already like right there waiting for you. So I'm going to clarify this with some tarot, and then I'll close it up with some guidance from spirit and initials. Okay, so we've got Ace of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Wheel of Fortune, which is mutable energy, Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius. Six of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And Five of Cups, so more water energy. So this Ace of Swords, this card of truth, is that double confirmation of the yes. You are close to meeting the one. You're close to meeting your forever person. You are closer than you may imagine. The idea of the Wheel of Fortune is also turning the page in some way. And in this deck, we've got these two people sitting up here on top of the wheel, but then it's almost like somebody else has been kicked off. They've been voted off the island, so to speak. So this can really talk about changing your social circle, changing your habits, habits, changing your routine, people that you are participating with, that you're dealing with, that are, kind of low vibrational, dragging you down, keeping you kind of stuck or limited in terms of, even just unintentionally unhealed things within themselves, a level that they are vibrating at that might be impacting you. You might be sponging that up. It may be dragging you down. The more you interact with this person, it's kind of weighing on you. It's this heaviness. It's almost like an unconscious energy vampire right here that needs to go. Maybe it's a series of people. Or, even just kind of a mindset, a narrative that you're telling yourself, like, I'm never going to meet somebody, I'm never going to meet my forever person. Instead of just like looking at stresses or challenges and complaining about these things, looking at kind of all the odds that are stacked against you, or in circumstances, it's time to almost shift that perspective, to look for possibilities, seek out solutions. Again, stepping outside of the comfort zone or changing the company that you are keeping, even by discontinuing certain company, opens you up to, having more time to kind of meet new people, have new experiences, new energies enter your world. This also really speaks to a willingness to move forward, to bravely kind of let things that are trying to fall out of your life, let those things fall away, let them move away, let yourself be moved in a new direction, watching, paying attention for the little signs and inclinations. Maybe it's something you hear about, like a new restaurant that has opened, or something you've always wanted to do, something you've always wanted to try, something that you used to enjoy doing, but maybe you've gotten too busy. Maybe with kind of the way the world has been for the last few years, you haven't been able to get out and do these activities. It was something you once really enjoyed. It was a place you liked to go, and you've been sort of cut off or isolated from that for several years. Now might be that time to pick that back up. Go out there, put yourself out there again, get out into the world more, out of whatever kind of the comfort zone is, or the environment that you are in a particular manner. Maybe it is taking like a little, day trip somewhere, or a long weekend somewhere. That might be where you're meeting this forever person, opening up to new friends, seeking out kind of like-minded individuals outside of ordinary circles that you've been running in. Any number of these things. And again, this person is like waiting for you up here in this higher vibration, but it requires you almost kind of releasing some of this kind of heavy or dense energy or individuals from your experience that are keeping your focus like down here on the negative, on the heaviness, on drama, on problems, on even just an energetic density, a lot of unhealed things, a lot of kind of complacency, surrounding yourself with people that are growth minded, that are creative, that are excited about sort of the potential of what life has in store for them, rather than very complacent or complaining, or just kind of static in terms of how they are viewing themselves and sort of the future. It's a change in scenario. It's a change in kind of what you're participating with that pivots you very quickly with this Wheel of Fortune, the idea of luck being on your side, fate and destiny, things shifting, things changing, and it puts you in alignment not just with this one and this forever person, but it also feels like some new kind of phase or stage or a hobby or an experience, or, just a tendency to kind of break out of personal patterns and comfort zones, that in a way is very healthy for you as well, to kind of keep that energy flowing so things don't get really static or stagnant, or if they have been for a while, it's the idea of almost letting the fresh air in, bringing in new ideas and energies to your world. The idea of the Five of Cups, this again is releasing something that is sort of low vibrational, just even kind of a rut that you've been in, an environment you've been in, being in your house for too long, things you've been focusing on, company you've been keeping, again, closer than you think, any day now, right around the corner, this forever person, they're in such close proximity to you, but it requires you to change what you are paying attention to, what you are feeding your energy into. Discontinuing, turning, not like these huge massive shifts, but just ever so slightly opening yourself up to something different, shifting that focus brings you into alignment with that person. And with the Six of Cups in this case, it's really, this idea of like get out into nature, and these cups all have these flowers in them. So spending time outdoors, rewilding yourself in some way, prioritizing self-care and wellness, getting out, getting fresh air, getting out of the comfort zone, or even just something that is kind of like play, some kind of an activity that doesn't have to be serious. It's recreation, it's enjoyment, it's treating yourself, it's understanding that, as much as we need to work hard, we also need to play hard. We need to allow ourselves the opportunity to rest and be rejuvenated, and to just participate in and do things for the sheer joy of it. That in some way, when you incorporate or carve out time for yourself in your day or in your week or regularly for these activities, it shifts something within your vibration. It lets the fresh air vibrationally into you that puts you into alignment and allows you to almost see and perceive this forever person. I'm drawn also to the idea with this man with his head down, that it's all he needs to do is kind of look up, and there's some possibility. Look up and look around, and here's these other kind of cups, this two of cups, this soulmate energy, this energy of union and partnerships right there. But if you continue to kind of focus your energies and your efforts and your attention on almost things that really have no growth potential to them. It's an energy of lack, or it's a cycle or a stage of your life that has kind of run its course. It's sort of you learned and achieved all you could from that. There's more out there for you in a certain manner that it requires like your attention put elsewhere to be able to perceive and receive and intersect with this forever person, the one who is very close. They're very deeply in your energy and very close to your tangible reality at this point in time. So I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit for you about the situation. Okay, and we have trust the niggle. What is the niggle feeling trying to tell you? So that is, again, that confirmation of something that you have an urge to do, that you've been considering, that you feel very inspired to break free from a pattern, deviate from sort of the way you've been leading your life, maybe even this urge or this inclination about certain people that you've been keeping company with, you've been exchanging energy with, that are just kind of, they're dragging you down. These circumstances, it's very limited in terms of what it has to offer to you. It's bringing forth almost like a smoky vibration, like a stagnancy here, like a stale energy, that some kind of internal guidance system has either been urging you and nudging you to break free from these things and sort of expand yourself, expand what you are participating with, what you're allowing into your life, step forward into the next chapter, kind of leave the past, and certain vibrations energetically, environmentally, in terms of other people, or even internally within yourself, to leave these things behind. This can also, again, tie into something that really catches your attention, like, oh, this sounds like a fun thing to do, or I used to really enjoy doing this, maybe I should take this hobby back up, or you've maybe been thinking about your wellness, and so it's this kind of urge about maybe taking a walk, a morning walk, an evening walk, going to the gym, starting to eat healthier, starting to incorporate habits that can lend to the elevation of your vibration, rather than kind of things that keep you sort of feeling stuck and stale and stagnant and unmotivated in your life. Really setting your sights higher, expecting more out of yourself, and in kind of these requests and the behests that have been given to the universe as far as that forever person. The invitation, it feels like, is either already been made known to you, that may feel like in a very unrelated manner of things you're needing to do, or this will become very apparent to you, almost like this little itch or something that draws you in a different direction, that you're really guided to do that, to take those steps that are necessary. And especially if this is kind of like leaving people behind, or distancing yourself, or kind of leaving your usual social circles behind, that can be something which is can be very difficult. Nobody wants to hurt anyone's feelings, but sometimes it's like we have to do what's best for ourselves. And if people just sort of are insisting on holding a perspective and a perception of the world that is very defeatist, it is like a lack mentality, or just even their own kind of personal habits and the things that they are embroiled with or participating with, that how that affects us energetically. It's almost like saving oneself in this situation here. So kindly and with dignity, moving forward in the direction in any way that you're really being called to step into. It feels like kind of a new vibrance for many areas of your life, but it's also something which puts you in that direct alignment with the one, with this forever person who is just, they're right there. They're waiting for you on the other side of this change that you've been getting signs about, you will get signs about, or even something just very spontaneously that is calling you to like step outside of your comfort zone, do something different, break out of your own pattern, deviate from that. Even if it's not the first example of that, it's almost like this energy of, adding more spontaneity into your life. When you sort of incorporate that in the vibration and in the experience of who you are, it's that sort of pattern. It's that sort of way of working with the opportunities, or even just things that you're curious about, or that sound interesting, or, sound different, or, are really just kind of calling to you, and getting in the habit of recognizing these things. Again, not like seeking them out, but just being receptive, answering that call when that comes, or that nudge, or that inclination. And when you do that, it creates a different kind of vibration. It creates a vibration of movement, and it changes sort of the environment, or the circumstances, or the energies that you are currently in. And that puts you in alignment with the one and the forever person who is very close. You're very close to meeting this person. They are almost like right on a parallel path with you. And it's just really a matter of time before you kind of meet one another, before you intersect with one another in the physical 3D reality. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be a first, middle, or last name, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got P, R, Q, X, Y, and U. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I'm also running a sale in my Etsy shop now through the end of the month of February. Everything is marked down 15%. So if you have had your eye on a piece of jewelry or a dream catcher, you've been considering getting a reading with me, now would be a good time to take advantage of that, as I don't often run sales. I've also launched a second channel here on YouTube. It's called Lady of the Dawn Tarot, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that, as well as in the channel section of my page. The format there is a little different from here. I do pick a cards as well as general energy check-ins, but the subject matters that I cover are related to spirituality, wellness, ascension, and self-love. So if any of that sounds interesting, I invite you to check that channel out, and I thank you for your support there, as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.